Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire Service. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Marcos, could you just go through what you recall from that final lap there after Brad hit Kyle and Kyle spun?
Well, I didn't know Brad hit Kyle. I thought Kyle got loose first on some oil. I mean, so you can't blame Brad for hitting Kyle. The guy was sliding across the track. He was going to spin out, and Brad finished him off. And I'm like, man, there's one. I got one more to go. And went up over the hill there, and I thought I was going to hit the fence and kept it off the wall. And then we get down to the chicane, and I'm like, well, I'm just going to follow Brad because he'll see the oil before I do, and I might be able to save myself. And I went straight off the track with him, and I thought that wasn't a good plan. So then I dove to the inside, thinking I was going to get off the oil that way, and slid through the carousel, and then he slid through it afterwards. So then I got some momentum on him. I gave him a shot there to try to clear him away, and then we sailed off into turn 6, and I'm like, all I want to do is be offline. If I can be offline, there's a fair chance, because up until that point it felt like it was on the racing groove. So I thought if I can just break off the racing groove, I've got a chance to woe it up, and then I'll work it out from there. And I turned in and slid through the oil, and I thought I'd blow him a chance in turn 6, and then got good drive because I went over the curb, and I shot back up the inside of Brad and put him on the oil, and then he slid on the oil, and we snuck through for the win. But he couldn't see the oil. You just couldn't see where it was at. I mean, if it was a black streak, it'd be okay, but it was almost like a fine spray, and just really hard to pick. And I was the first one to start sliding on it for whatever reason. My line, I slid into turn 1, and I slid up the hill, and then I slid through the bus stop, allowed Brad to get past me, and I thought I was blowing up. I thought it was my oil, not knowing really what was going on. And it wasn't until I saw Kyle and Brad sliding as well that I thought, okay, there's something down here on the track, and we're just going to have to deal with it. But I think big shout out to NASCAR. A lot of guys are going to say, should they throw on a caution, should they not? No one wants to see these races finish under caution or bunch back up in these 2x2s and making a random finish. We had the 3 fastest cars duking it out for the win. That's the way it should be, and I think they did the right call.
Okay, we'll take our next question up front. Go ahead.
For Marcos, just can you believe the way fate has smiled on you at this place? I mean, last year the leader overshot turn 1. This year it was
she's
oil.
Been frowning on me all year, so it's nice to get a change. Like Todd said, you just got to put yourself in good positions, and wins will come. And that's what we did today. We had a fast car. We were in position to take advantage when it went crazy, and we got the win. So we didn't luck into it. We deserved to get this win, and we'll take it.
Okay, we'll take our next question here in the middle. Raise your hand. We'll get a mic to you. She's right beside you.
Bill Hunnicky from the Trenton Times. Richard, watching that develop, did that bring back any memories of you and David Pearson doing some grass racing in Daytona?
Yeah, but not on a road course. Okay. Yeah, you get down to, like he says, you get down to the last of the race. I know some of you old guys remember me and Allison used to do a lot of beating in the bash in the last 2 or 3 laps and stuff. Me and Pearson's been in a couple of different ones. I've been in with a lot of them. I'd put it that way. Yeah, you go and you run and you do the best you can, and then you try to take advantage of the circumstances as was there, and that's what Marcos did today. He didn't create none of those circumstances. He took advantage of those circumstances, and so we've been in some of them before like that.
Okay, we'll take our next question from Marty.
Marty Smith, ESPN. Congratulations, all of you. Marcos, before the whole oil mess, right in the middle, brother, before the whole oil thing happened, how was your car performing in comparison to Kyle's and, I guess, point blank? If that doesn't happen, do you think you have a shot to win?
If we had had track position at the end there, we would have pulled away from Kyle. Even around these places, aero is a big thing because you can't get air on the brakes and you can't get the nose down. So we could chip away at him, but, I was just burning my stuff up to catch him at the end. So we led a lot of the race in the middle part. If the caution hadn't come out when we were in our window to pit for the last time, we would have been fine. But we had to pit because we were in our window when the caution was out. We came out 9th or 10th, and then I knew I had a lot of work to do because it wasn't going to come easy. It wasn't going to be handed to me. I had to get myself back up there. And we actually got back up to 2nd when smoke spun out, and I thought, right, I've got a chance to win this. And then Kyle did an awesome move on the inside. I mean, give the guy props. He did exactly what he needed to do. Took us 3 wide into turn 1, and then I knew I was toast. I knew I was in trouble. And, I managed to fight my way past Brad, and then I tried to chase Kyle down, but he wasn't making any mistakes, and he had a fast car, and I just burnt my stuff up trying to get to him, and I was really, thinking, okay, it may be second place here. And well, then the oil came down, and I slipped to third, and I thought, well, that's not the plan. And so I just put my head down and just kept trying, and made less mistakes than the other two, I guess.
Okay, go ahead with your question.
Matt Kelly from the Corning Crier. So first off, Marcus, congratulations on the win. You guys fought hard today to get you where you're at. Now looking at the races ahead, you're more than likely going to need one more win before you can get into the chase. So where's that win coming?
We're looking next week. So we got the pole at Michigan. We were running top 5 all day there. No reason why we can't go there and surprise them again.
Okay, we'll take our next question from Bob.
Bob Parker, Sporting News. Marcus, had you ever raced in that type of condition with the way it was that last lap? And is there anything that you do beyond just hope you don't hit the oil that you can do?
Well, I have raced in those conditions before, but not when there's so much at stake. I mean, we're racing NASCAR Sprint Cup Series here, and wins are hard to come by. And so, you just, just a lot of pressure, and you're up against the best drivers in the world. I mean, I've got to take a second here to say Brad Keselowski and Kyle Busch are two of the best road racers I've been around. I mean, they're amazing drivers. Just a lot of fun to be driving against them, around them, and put ourselves in contention for the win. When it gets to a situation like that, it's similar to, rain or drizzle on the track, and you never quite know what you're going to get when you arrive at the corners. And so I've had a lot of experience like that, but this was unusual because there was a lot of grip or there was none. And 2 or 3 times there where I thought, okay, I'm good here, hit the gas pedal down and all but spun out. And I thought, man, I just don't know what's happening. You just couldn't see the oil. Normally you can see it on the racetrack, but I couldn't see it. So it was kind of just wait till the car slides and try and save it.
Okay, go ahead with your question.
Yes, for Todd. Todd, on your pit crew up in is a Niagara Falls native, Rodney Feathers. And you mentioned how good the pit crew did today. I know last year Rodney was about to retire, and he says you brought him out of retirement and brought him onto this team. So if you can talk a little bit about the contribution of Rodney Feathers and what he's meant. I know you were with him all the way back to the Sadler days.
Yeah, Rodney does a good job. He's a good jack man, and like I said, I had to rally the troops a little bit this week. Coming into this race, looking at things that we did here last year to try to get better. We had to be better in the pits. If it came down to one of the 2 cars making green flag pit stops, and like he said, track position is so important. We went to work this week. We switched up some tire changers, and we really worked hard on their steps and the movements they made around the car. Tried to clean up that a lot, and the whole pit crew did a great job. Rodney's a heck of a jack man, been around for a long time, and he's worked for me a couple times now, and like I said, does a great job. But the whole pit crew rallied together today. I mean, every guy that went over the wall did their job and did the very best at it they've done in a long time.
Okay, go ahead with your question right here.
After Chris Whalen from YNN, after last year, there were some changes made to the course after the wreck. Did it feel safer out there, and what did you think?
Watkins Glen have done a great job at this facility. It still races the same, yet safety's improving every year we come up here. Clearly, last year's accidents, will put alarms out for a lot of folks, and they did a great job correcting the issues that they found. And they've actually made the track faster. A lot of the curbs on the inside, they've added some concrete in there, and so it allows us to really run through the inner loop a lot faster. Turn 1's a lot safer and faster because you can run off on the rumble strip. So all around, a huge thumbs up. I think the 3 races here this weekend have been the best 3 races Watkins Glen has seen for a long time.
Okay, go ahead, Jim. Then we'll go to Joe.
Jim Utter, Charlotte Observer. Marcus, most people are talking about all the racing on the last lap, but there were several big moves made throughout the course of the race. I wonder if you could give an assessment a little bit on the racing you had with Kyle before the last lap, including his move where he passed the 2 of you.
Yeah, you're around pro racers, and they're taking every advantage they can when they get them. It was a tough race. It was a fast race. I felt like I was pushing my car hard all day, and I was worried that I was actually driving the car too aggressively to stay in front. And then when I was chasing Kyle down there, I really was, pushing as hard as I could. And he was driving a great race. He always races well here, every year I come here, I look at his car and it looks the same handling wise, and it's as fast as it always is. He does a great job around here, and Brad Keselowski in the 2 car, they've been really great here too the last couple of years, and they're a force to be reckoned with, no doubt. I thought the race was clean. I thought it was a fast pace, and I thought it was it was a good day, a good showing for NASCAR.
Go ahead, Joe.
Joe Manzer, NASCAR.com. Actually, 3 of you have already kind of talked about this, but Todd, you've been around a real long time. How would you rate that finish and the ones you've seen over your career, and what were your emotions like? Can you talk about that a little bit more coming down the stretch there?
Yeah, I was pretty emotional again there at the end. I've been around a lot of great races. I've been associated with a lot of great wins, but that one right there probably ranks up there in the top 2 or 3 as far as the excitement level on the last lap. You go to take the white flag, you're not sure if you're going to finish 2nd or 3rd, and then half a lap later you're saying, okay, you're going to win the race. So it's just a lot of emotion, and like I said, that was a heck of a race. The fans got their money's worth on that one. That was I know from my seat, Richard was sitting behind me, and it was crazy.
All right, we'll take one in the back. Go ahead.
Rick Huey, Finger Lakes News Radio. Richard, this week you were involved in donation to the Southern Tier Food Pantry. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, with Smithfield, I think we did a deal opening with Smithfield, and they give away, I think, maybe 30 or 60,000 pounds of food to the food bank when we was in Daytona, and then when we had the Charlotte race, they did a deal food bank in Greensboro, North Carolina. So I went up there for that, and then Friday, I guess, we went over to Watkins Glen downtown, and they give away 30,000 pounds of ham down there, and just makes you feel good from my standpoint to working with people like Smithfield that gives back to the community. So I think we try to do it as pity family, pity crowd anyway. But then when you're working with people that think the same way you do, it just makes it that much better.
Additional questions? Okay, right here on your right.
Yeah, Andrew Laguerre, Elmira Star-Gazette. Question for Marcos. I think last year your family wasn't able to be here because of school or in the rain out. It looks like they're here today. Can you just talk about what it's like having them here to share in this moment with you?
Yeah, look, it's just great. That's why I got them up here, because they haven't ever shared this. My kids haven't shared this in America, and it's a special thing to win a NASCAR race, especially a Sprint Cup race. So it's fantastic. I got my in-laws sitting in the back here too. They're here on vacation, so big shout out to them. But my dad's in hospital right now, so I hope this makes him feel better and gets him going. It's a tough life when you're racing, especially from, I'm from Australia. My immediate family's down home, and I feel a long way away a lot of days where you feel like, okay, I'm chasing a dream here, and I've made a lot of sacrifices, and so too has my family. So it's just great to have them here, great to let them celebrate with me, and these days don't come around every day,
All right, go ahead, Lee, once we get a mic to you.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. For the King, can you talk a little bit about your manufacturer plans for next year? Because Marcus said earlier in the weekend that you guys were looking at what your choices might be.
Don't blame me, man.
Gonna get it interpreted here, okay? Oh, okay. We got to finish up this year with Ford. Okay, we got a contract with them, and when the Penske deal came about, then we were kind of shuffled around a little bit with Ford. I don't think we're shuffled out, but we kind of shuffled around, and so we're just gonna have to, renegotiate our contract with Ford, I guess is the way it's gonna be. And I've seen some of the Ford people there today, and I told them, being Marcus won the race, I had my contract in my pocket. I was going to let them sign it right there. I don't think it went over too good.
He's over waiting. Yeah.
Yeah, there he is over there.